Alright, welcome back to Hammie&Son, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Rather than opening up packages of football cards, I am going to give a shout out to Sports Card Ripping Teacher. He posted a video a few days back about hashtag educate and entertain. Now, this past week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and so first off, I want to say thank you to all teachers. The work that you put into the time and effort for every one of our kids is amazing. I'm not a teacher, but I am a coach for multiple sports here locally. I'm a middle school head football coach as well as a track coach, and kind of goes in hand with teachers. Now, teachers do a lot more work, obviously, but let me tell you a little bit about myself. Now, I am a United States Marine. I served in the Marine Corps for 8 years. 1999, when I graduated high school, 4 days I went into the Armed Forces, the Marines, where I ended up being stationed in Camp Pendleton, California, and when 9/11 hit, pretty much a few months later, I traveled to Afghanistan, outside the Afghanistan waters, to protect that border there, and then turned around, went to Iraq, when March 19th, 2001, when President Bush declared war, my unit was pretty much invading Iraq. Now, there's a lot when it comes to war. Many of my brothers can tell you a lot of poverty, a lot of problems in that area. One of the things that really catch on to me is the amount of children that not sure exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, they're raised up indifferent. We've seen kids with weapons. We've seen families try to give babies to us out there, say, better off with you. A lot of it, and it just drilled into my mind how sad it is, and a lot of other things that came into play. I do struggle with PTSD from Iraq, from what we experienced out there. After the Marine Corps, I started working in retail, management, hospitality industry, and eventually made my way working for Sam's Club, Walmart Incorporated. But I 2016, I went ahead and retired completely from my work in retail. I ended up, it's hard to say. The last day I was there, I had a gentleman pull a machete on me, and I ended up traveling home that day in a lot of stress and a lot of worry and a lot about basically how this world is coming to. And I basically went ahead and almost tried to kill myself. Well, I obviously am here. I didn't. It's hard to say. That's one of the things that when you struggle with PTSD and you deal with stressful conditions like that, you have nowhere else to turn. I eventually went into in-residential treatment, where I worked on for a few months on my self-being, my self-worth, trying to understand what PTSD was all about. But I made a commitment while I was in residential treatment that I was going to become a role model to children of all ages. I have 2 kids, one 14-year-old, one 12-year-old. Shortly after residential, I went into became obviously being retired, and I went in my local town. We have scouts. I became a cub master. We started out with like 13 kids, and by the time prior to COVID happening, I ended up with 108. We did all sorts of things, outdoorsy stuff, but the value there was about who they are and how they're going to be raised. How are they going to adapt to society? especially in troubled times. Well, when COVID hit, obviously we stopped, but I wanted to venture. I tried to find a path of where I needed to go, and sports was the answer. I love sports. I love football mainly. So I partnered with the high school, became an assistant coach for a year. During COVID, it was pretty hard. We had like 13 players, not many games, and then I had the opportunity the year after to become the middle school head football coach, and I gladly took it. Now, I do it voluntarily. I don't take a payment. I don't. It's not something that I feel is needed, but I value the children. I value what they are to become, how are they become, and so I started coaching football, and it got me to where we have a motto in our program, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. And the program is called, well, it's not called, but our title is Be the Stone. Now, we know in football, a lot of football players call the football the rock. Well, I call our motto Be the Stone, and it's for these reasons. I asked the kids, got them together, I said, hey, what is a stone? Picked up a stone, I said, what is it used for? And I explained to them about a few years back, I laid some concrete down on the side of my house. And prior to laying the concrete, I have to establish laying stone, gravel throughout, which gives a solid foundation for when you lay the concrete down. So I told them, I was like, the stone there creates a solid foundation, so we are going to be the foundation. This is where it starts. Now, obviously we raise kids as their young age, but in middle school is to raise them at that point to be the solid foundation. We're going to create a program that establishes kids with positive attitude, positive thinking, good grades. And so with that, I asked them what else could a stone be used. And one of the kids raised their hand. They said, well, my grandmother used stone in her garden. I was like, okay, for like what? And he said, well, to step on. So it's creating a pathway. So not only I want to become a solid foundation, but I wanted to be the pathway. I wanted this program to be the pathway to success. Not so much like we're going to win every game, we're going to drill this until beat a game. No, it's about having camaraderie, having the positive mindset, having the positive thinking, having good grades, being the example. We look at in the world today, if situations like if an NFL player gets in trouble, Rasheed Rice, then it's in the news. It's all over the place. People see it. They're like, "Oh, this guy's good." I want us to create an attitude to where it's going to be positive, to be a member of society that's going to be for the positive. So, to be the pathway. And then I told him, I said, the third and final thing, I said, I don't know if any of you guys out there have faith, but my family, we do. And I said, a young man took down a giant with a stone. I said, so when your number is called, when your name is called, I want you to take down the giant. It could be on the football field. It could be whatever stresses you deal with. Take the giant down, whatever you're trying to battle. So we're going to be a solid foundation. We're going to create a pathway. And I want you to take down the giant when your number's called. This is why I do what I do. I love coaching. I love working with the kids. I feel like there's no better thing in this world than seeing a child succeed and you're there to help them through it. So also with what sports card ripping teacher says, it was interesting. One of the teachers that follow him give cards out to their students. I thought that was pretty cool. This past season, I created their own cards. My kids, 8th graders that are moving on to 9th grade, as a token for all the work they've done with me, I created football cards. And I wanted to show you a couple that I did, well, for my son. If you guys followed our channel, my son plays football, he plays quarterback. He's working hard. That's what he wants to do when he graduates. He wants to go to college, professionally. I'm being looked at many colleges right now. Proud of my kid, proud of him for what he done. But so technically I am opening some football cards, but let's check it out. Let's see. Right, look down here. Still working on a puzzle. This is my son. That's his card number, and on the back, positions he plays, season we're at, and then words to live by. Be the stone, Coach Hammie. And then my family thought it would be great to make myself one. That's me coaching kids, Coach Hammie, and then position field commandant, season words to live by, be the stone, Coach Hammie, and then they also call me Coach Dad. We love you, Coach Dad, AMS Gridiron. Memories that's going to last forever. So thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry I'm jumbling all over the place. It's the first time I really had to open up. But let me know what you think. Let me know. So Sports Card Ripping Teacher, thank you for bringing that display. I'm not trying to win anything, not trying to go after anything, but I felt like my message needed to be said. Remember, be the foundation, create a pathway, and when your number's called, take down the giant. Thanks, and remember to like, subscribe, and like my son always says, if you do, it'll give you good luck. Thanks.